Hello, everybody. I am SHEAHDUMB 17, and for this video, I will be talking about two movies that have swept the nation, that have made people shake in their boots, that have made people regret their life decisions. These movies are called the Cinderella movie and He's All That. Now, I will be talking about both of these movies. If you just want to sit here and listen to me make fun of these movies, join me. All right, let's get started. First, we're gonna start with the Cinderella movie, and then we will talk about He Is All That. Boop. Boop. Okay. Boop. Stupid. Let's talk about the beginning. Rhythm Nation. Was it bad? You know, the background singers, they were good. The two stepsisters, that whole thing, very uncomfortable. Camila Cabello, she was okay in that one. Yeah, it was just Rhythm Nation. I kind of feel bad for Janet Jackson, but you know, they tried. Then we have Camila Cabello's voice. I'm gonna talk about this like just in the entire movie. She had parts where she sounded okay, but in most of the movie, she sounded very squeaky and off and rough. I don't know. It doesn't sound like beautiful and like, you know, there's like this whimsical voice and it just wasn't that. It was very rough. And especially when she was singing with herself, I can't harmonize with myself. Let me not act like I'm the best singer in the world. But I know that. I know that I'm not the greatest with harmonizing. So the fact that they recorded that, heard how it sounded, and still put it in the movie, I feel like it was a setup for Camila Cabello, because in certain areas where she was singing, I was like, they could literally sing that again. But instead they left it in. And I'm like, why did they do that to that girl? I'm not the biggest fan of Camila Cabello, but at the same time, you could have redone the vocals. They set her up. The song, You're Gonna Know My Name. You're gonna know my name. You know, that, yeah. The band, when they come in and it's the guy who's like rapping, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da. And then they have like the band in the back. I like that part of the movie. They just come in, like, say what's gonna happen, and then they dip. But it was like really cool. That was energetic and fun. Oh yeah, the king, he was just really dramatic in this movie. I don't know. He just seemed like he was doing too much. And I was like, dude, like, why are you so dramatic? It's not even that big of a deal. You're doing too much. I think it was like the whole, he needs to marry somebody or whatever. And I'm like, dude, calm down. I think it was kind of ironic that the prince of the movie was singing Somebody to Love. Because does he really want to find someone to love? Because in the movie, he's like, oh, you know, I'm just living my life, dancing, partying, whatever. But there wasn't really a hint at like, I'm interested in finding someone. It was like, ugh, I don't want to do this. So I don't know. But, you know, the Somebody to Love song was okay. I kind of liked his voice in singing it. Ella Enchanted did it better. Ella Enchanted did it so much better, but it wasn't bad. It was, every time I hear Somebody to Love, Ella Enchanted is the first thing that I go to. Like, there will never be another movie that really can capture Somebody to Love like Ella Enchanted. So when I was just hearing it, I was like, this is Ella Enchanted. And one of the people in this movie was in the Ella Enchanted movie. So, you know, that didn't help. So the prince is singing Somebody to Love, and he meets up with his sister and his family. They're on the balcony. It's a whole thing. All the peasants, all the people, you know, the working class people are out standing looking at the king, and I can't remember why the sister said dude, but I just thought that was hilarious. Like, I thought that was hilarious. The whole Camila Cabello thing where she's trying to be like, I don't know, what is the word? I can't think of the word right now, but she was just doing too much. You know, with some main characters, like they're quirky and everything, but it's not like uncomfortable and cringy. She she made it very cringy. And I'm like, dude, this is not it. She sat on the king's statue. I'm like, why did you think that was a good idea? Like, that's not quirky, you're just being annoying. And then the prince, he fell in love, and I was like, dude, no. I love the interaction between the prince and his friend in the movie. It was giving some vibes. It was giving some vibes, but you know, him and Camila, whatever. Then we have Idina Menzel. I think I said that horribly. Idina Menzel, Maddie Bila, and Charlotte Spencer, who sung like Material Girl. And they weren't bad. I liked the performance. It was entertaining. It was fun. The worker guy. If you've seen the movie, there was a man. I think he didn't have a shirt on. Or maybe I was just imagining. I'm pretty sure he didn't have a shirt on. I'm pretty sure. Or, I don't know. But yeah, I really liked that performance. It was really sweet. It was cute. And Idina Menzel, she's always like a great performer. So it makes sense. Okay, and then we have the interaction where the prince and Cinderella, they meet up. And I kind of liked their interaction. They had like certain moments where they were cute, and then other moments where I was like, oh, stop. You're doing too much. But they did have cute moments. And I was like, oh. And then I really thought about it. I was like, and then the whole, am I wrong? I feel bad. They really did set her up, because why? Am I wrong? Like, no. Someone heard that and was like, yeah, let's keep that in. Billy. Oh, I forgot. Billy Porter's entrance. So in this part of the movie, Cinderella, she got rejected for going to the ball. And the only reason why she wanted to go to the ball was because she wanted to show her dresses. Because in this reenactment, I don't know, retelling of the story, Cinderella is not interested in going to the ball to see the prince. She wants to go to the ball so that she can introduce like her outfits and talk about how she wants to be a fashion designer. I don't know why, but the evil mother, Idina, she's like, no, you can't go. And she throws something at Cinderella. So Cinderella is sad. Cinderella is singing to herself, and she's like, oh, I can't go to the ball because my stepmother is a bully. She's a bully, and I'm sad. I'm so sad. And then we see a butterfly. It was okay. So in the beginning of the movie, there was a caterpillar. Yeah, a caterpillar. It was a caterpillar that Cinderella saved, or I don't know. She put him in a box. I was like, can they like breathe, or I don't know. But she put the caterpillar in the box, and then during this side of the movie, the caterpillar blooms and it turns into a butterfly. So it goes out, it sees Cinderella, she's like, oh, this is so beautiful. And then the butterfly morphs into a person, and it was cool, but also very scary. It was cool. Like, I was like, oh, this is pretty, but also like, this is terrifying. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if I'm the only person, But that part kind of scared me. Billy Porter, he looks amazing. He sounded amazing. I was like, wow, bam, bam, bam. The whole scene where Billy Porter puts a suit on Camila, I only saw parts of the movie. So I saw that part and I was like, please tell me they're not gonna put Cinderella in a suit. Nothing wrong with the women being in a suit. But I was like, the suit is bland. Like, if you're gonna put Cinderella in a suit, at least sparkle it, you know, put some pizzazz on it. But it was just a regular blue suit. So I was like, no, don't do this. But they didn't. They put her in a dress, which the dress wasn't, there was nothing grand about the dress. Okay, this is my problem. If she is a fashion designer, okay, and she's wow, and she's amazing. First of all, the first dress that we saw wasn't even that amazing. I think it was just like a pink dress with a purple thing right there and her mother's pen or whatever. But it wasn't like, wow. If you're going to make Cinderella into a fashion designer, shouldn't she have designs that wows people? But that dress she had on, because Billy Porter, who was the fairy god person, did it, and she put on the dress because it was her design. But the design, the design wasn't even that great. Like, it was an okay dress. I was like, oh. The only cool thing about the dress was that the dress was made out of the flowers on the trees. But other than that, I was like, this is a regular dress. I've seen other Cinderella stories. Literally a Cinderella story with Hilary's Duff. That dress was better than Camila Cabello's. And that was like...
Hilary Duff's dress was literally for a prom. A high school prom. And it was so much better than Camila Cabello's.
It just... I wasn't a big fan. Her hair... She just had a braid in her hair. I didn't know. Why did they just braid up her hair? I didn't like that. In this scene, we have the mice and Billy Porter. He makes the mice into men, and there's 2 white men and 1 black man. And my thing is, why did they have the black man in the front pulling the car? Is that it? You know, doing the horse stuff. Why couldn't James Corden or that other dude do, you know, I don't even know what it's called, but just be in front of the horse. Why did it have to be the black man? Or I don't know if was he black? Yeah, I don't know. It seems a little off to me, but whatever. The mice in that scene, they were okay. They weren't really a big comedy relief thing. It was just like, okay, they're here for comedy. What a man, what a man, what a man, what a mighty good man. What a man. The What a Man performance, I loved it. First of all the girls who were dancing in the What a Man performance looked better than Cinderella. They looked better than Cinderella. How are you gonna dress the people that are in the back? Supposed to be the background dancers, the background people. They look better than the main girl. She's supposed to look magical and amazing. And she don't. She looked just plain and regular. I don't get it. But I love the performance. It was entertaining. The men were great too, but the women, amazing. So they're at the ball. Y'all probably confused. I'm barely saying anything. So they're at the ball in this scene, and the girl, she's doing the cello, and then she kind of picks up the cello and starts like playing it as a guitar, and then she destroys it. I'm like, why? That kind of irritated me. And I didn't even play the cello. Like, I'm not a cello person, but when I saw that, I was like, that's not how you play the cello. And you're destroying it? I don't appreciate that. And then we have this scene. So the interaction with Cinderella and the prince, during that interaction, she was trying to sell the dress that she made that was like not even that special, but she was trying to sell the dress. And the prince was dressed up as a commoner, so she didn't recognize that that was the prince. It's a Cinderella movie, so I'm not gonna really be like, oh, that doesn't make any sense, because the other movies didn't make any sense either, but I love those, so I can't do it with this one, even though I'm not a big fan of this one. Anyway, so basically the prince buys the dress from Cinderella and he gives it to his sister. The sister wears it, and Cinderella sees that the princess is wearing her dress, and she's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that the princess wearing my dress. This is amazing. This is the best thing that ever happened to me. Camilla's just focused on, well, Cinderella is only focused on trying to get someone to be interested in her dresses. But once she finds out that the prince is the guy that she was talking about, because she was kind of bashing the prince when she didn't know that he was a prince, you know, she's like, oh my gosh, I did that in front of the prince, I'm so embarrassed. But he goes up to her and he's like, I want to dance with you, blah blah blah. They dance, whatever. While they're dancing, they sing a song. I will say this: Camila and Nicholas Galal, I don't know his last name. His last name? Camila and Nicholas. They sounded beautiful in this scene. When they were singing together, Camila Cabello sounded good. And I was like, yes. I like, even though I'm not a big fan of her, I know she sounds decent. So why was she sounding horrible and the other, I don't know. But this scene, I really liked it. She sounded good in this scene, and they looked cute together. I was like, I can kind of tell some type of chemistry. We then have the scene where the prince takes Cinderella and talks to her, you know, alone. They go into this room and he's playing the piano to her and he's serenading her. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And she's like, you know, I want to be a fashion designer and I have to go for my goals, so I cannot marry you. And he's trying to, you know, he wants to marry her, blah, 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 blah. She's like, I'm sorry, but I can't do it. And he's like, sad. So, sorry. So, he's like, wait. And he goes back to the piano and starts playing again. And she turns around. That's what happens. She turns around while he's playing the piano. And she's like, and she runs to him and she's like, I can't remember exactly what she said. I can't remember what the scene from the movie was. But when that girl was like, we should never fight again. Like, it was that type of energy. Let's never fight again. And I was just like, okay, girl. Anyway, but yeah. So they have that scene basically where she's like, I want to be with you, but The clock strikes 12 and she runs out. He goes after to chase her and she's like, look, I have to go. I'm blah, 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 blah. And he's like, okay, fine. I'll cover you. So she runs off and I can't remember what he did to help her, but he does. I don't know. And yeah, she runs away and he's sad and stuff. So while she's running, he doesn't run after her in this movie. The best friend of the prince runs after her because the king said, get her, because y'all supposed to get married. Like, because that's the whole reason why they had the ball, so that the prince could find somebody to love. Love. That was, ew, anyway. That was stupid. Anyway, the best friend runs after Cinderella. You know, the whole slipper thing happens. Carriage. They're running. Things are falling apart. Everything. You know what happens when the clock strikes 12. Things go back to normal. They go back to normal. And during the scene, we see that the mice are turning to humans. Okay? Okay. The first guy, he just automatically turns back into a mice. Like, he was a human, he turns back into a mice. But they had to do with James Corden, the the bottom part of his body turned into a mouse, but his head was still human. And that was the scariest thing I've ever seen in my life. Honestly, this might be a horror movie because that was terrifying. I was scared. I had to pause because I was like, ew. And then I unpaused because I was like, I don't want to see that anymore. Why? It wasn't funny. It didn't bring me laughter. It brought me fear. I was fearful. I can't. Everything turns back into whatever it was supposed to be in the beginning. She runs back to the house and she's chilling. The next day comes along and, you know, all the Cinderella movies where everybody doesn't recognize her. So Cinderella asked the fairy god person if he could make her unrecognizable, but only to the prince. So I was like, okay, all right. So that's why no one recognized her. So she still had one of the glass slippers, and the other glass slipper was with the best friend. She's in bed, and she hid the glass slipper, but the mouse, James Corden's mouse, was being annoying, and the glass fell on the floor. The stepmother sees, and instead of her being like, oh, I'm gonna lock you up and I'm gonna find a way, blah, blah, she's like, you should marry him. Marry the prince. Like, what are you doing? He's the prince. Marry him, and then we'll all be good. But Cinderella, she's like, no, I don't want to do that. I have to focus on my goals. The stepmother's not happy about that because she's like, this is the real world. And, you know, I tried to go for my goals and it didn't work out, and I'm angry, and I'm going to do a dramatic song about it. But I loved it. I loved it. Even though it was very dramatic, I loved it. She performed. She was amazing. And then that piano solo, Gwen, the sister who is the princess. So apparently in this movie, she's like the people's princess. Like, she's supposed to be so, you know, lovable and everything. But they didn't show a scene where she was actually going out and talking to the people and being, you know, this lovable person. We just saw her walking with like the people in the marketplace or something, but she wasn't talking to people. She wasn't being lovable. I don't know. So she becomes the first in line because the king tells the prince, go after your love. You don't have to be the king anymore. Your sister will become the first queen. And she is excited because during this entire movie, she's had all these ideas. And yeah, the last scene where Cinderella is up there with the king, the queen, the upcoming queen, and the prince, you know, since they're not getting married, the upcoming queen, she's like, what should we call you? And she's like, well, we're not gonna put a label on it. Ugh, like drum solo, which I loved at the end. It was like bam, 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 ay. And before they made up, because I skipped through that, throughout this entire movie, the evil stepmother was trying to marry Cinderella off to this man who's creepy and weird. And after she didn't go and marry the prince, she was like, well, you're gonna marry this man. So they have a scene where they're in the carriage about to go somewhere, I don't know. And during that day, Cinderella is supposed to meet up with a queen so that she can go with her to like explore and focus on her designs, because one of the queens or princesses at the ball liked her designs or whatever. She does this weird thing where she just jumps off the carriage and she runs. While she's running, she bumps into the prince. The prince confesses his love to her, and they have this scene where the prince picks her up and she's like, oh, I can just like walk and stuff. And that was kind of funny. It was kind of, you know, it was kind of funny. He brings Cinderella to the queen and she accepts her and they celebrate. So then we skip all the way to the end. There's a big singing thing. Cinderella and stepmother, they make up, singing at the end, celebration, dancing. That's it. This movie was just okay. Was I a big fan of all the changes that were made? Not really. If you're gonna do Ella Enchanted and bring songs from like modern time into like a older medieval times thing, you have to have people, not saying that the people in there can't sing or anything, but I don't know, it just felt weird and not right. But the movie was okay. I did feel like I was gonna fall asleep, but I didn't. So it's not that bad. If I fell asleep during this movie, that's when it was bad. If I had to rate this movie compared to the other Cinderella movies, this would definitely be the last one. And yeah, that's it. Cinderella. Next up, we have He's All That. Bam, bam, bam. We see Addison Rae's character, which is Paige or Paget. That's what it is. So Paget, she's in her room. She's doing the influencer stuff. Boom, bow, pow. She's being like, oh, I woke up like this, but I actually didn't wake up like this. I put makeup on. And she's doing the live stream. Then we hear that, you know, she has a boyfriend and she is not telling the truth to her friends. She told her friends that she lives in this like big condo, but she actually lives in a small little house. And every day before school, she runs to the condo so that her friends pick her up from this condo. So they think that she's rich and all this stuff. We see the scene where it's the guy, you know, the love interest before the glow up and everything. And he's driving his sister to school. And we hear this annoying music video of Paget's boyfriend. I forgot his name in the movie, but it's like very auto-tuned and annoying. And that guy, I'm gonna tell you right now, that guy who plays the character who was in Girl Meets World, he's a perfect D like he plays it well. I was like, yeah, I can't stand that man. I can't stand him. Paget is like, let's visit my boyfriend at his music video. They go to the trailer and Paget, she has like these cookies or whatever that she baked from scratch, I think. We are introduced to her friends. One of them is kind of snobby and like rude, and the other one is kind of sweet. So anyway, she gives the phone to the kind of like the snobby friend and she points it at her. They walk in and Paget finds out that her boyfriend was cheating on her. So she's upset. The annoying kind of rude friend doesn't end the live stream, because this was a whole live stream. Everybody was singing in real time. But she doesn't end it until Paget is like, dude. And she does. Everybody turns on Paget, which makes no sense. That wouldn't happen. Nobody would, okay, maybe a few people. Like there was always gonna be some like rude people, but majority, you're telling me majority of the people on the internet would bully the girl that got cheated on. You're telling me that out of all the people who saw that video, they're siding with the dude? No. Come on. So yeah, everybody's turning on Paget. She gets dropped by her sponsorship, what's her name? Kourtney Kardashian, who's playing another person, but she's literally herself. But she's like, you're losing followers and nobody wants to associate with Bubble Girl, because she had a booger Paget and I don't know, it was stupid. Because of all of this, because people were turning on her, she's upset, you know, she's sad, she got cheated on, whatever. She goes to school, she's seeing her friends. Olive, I think that's her name. Anyway, she's with her friends and she makes a bet with the snobby one. Paget ex-boyfriend was basically nothing but before, you know, she made him popular. So she thinks that she can turn another dude popular and all this stuff. So the snobby friend is like, okay, that's a bet. So they bet. They're walking around the school trying to look for the perfect candidate to make over and make him popular. And they spot Cameron, who's the outside loner, who is artsy and not like the other guys, but he's actually kind of just like, he's not that great. You know, I don't know. He just, ugh. Paget goes up to him and tries to talk to Cameron, but he's really not interested. So she gets information from the sister, and the sister tells him that he like helps horses and stuff. Paget goes to the horse place, talks to Cameron. Their interaction is kind of cute at parts, not all of it, but she helps him shovel some horse manure, and then he kind of teaches her his first steps of riding a horse, and they get to start talking. At school, Paget invites Cameron and his friend to a party. They go to the party. Paget's two like friends are singing on the stage, and it's a pool party. Pop, 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 and they sound awful. Well, the snobby friend sounds awful. The other girl, she doesn't sound that bad. After that, Paget goes on stage, and Addison Rae singing, she doesn't sound that bad. The dancing was like, what are you doing, girl? This is not TikTok. What? You know, I don't know. I don't know what she was doing, but her singing wasn't that bad. You know, she's singing, doing the karaoke, and then she sees her ex-boyfriend with his new girl, the girl that Paget caught her ex-boyfriend cheating on with came to the party. So that makes her mess up with the singing and stuff, and she's kind of freaking out, and she's bombing on stage. It's just awful. And then that's when Cameron goes on the stage and he starts singing with her. And it's a cute moment. You know, it's like, ah, that's nice. You're helping her, whatever. So then we see this other scene where Cameron, Paget, the sister, and the best friend go shopping for Paget's friend's Odin. So Odin, that is the snobby girl. So she's having a birthday party and blah, 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 blah. Paget invites the sister, Cameron, and the best friend. It's just this montage of them shopping and stuff, and it's like bam, 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 bam. And then we see Cameron without a shirt, and you know, the Addison Rae character Paget, she's like, oh, he look cute. Oh, he got muscles. Let me stop. They get ready for the party and stuff, and Paget gives Cameron a makeover. And he comes out with his suit, with his slick hair back. Because at first he had like long hair, but then she cut it and she slicked it back. I don't know. And yeah, they do that. Cameron comes out. Everybody's like, oh my, is that Cameron? Wow, he looks amazing. And the sister calls him hot. Cameron's sister, the little sister, calls her brother hot. She's like, I know you're my brother, but you look hot. Like, yeah. I don't care. I would know. What we're not doing is calling my brother that. No, you don't call your brother hot. You don't do that. Like, you look decent. Like, that's what siblings do. Like, you don't compliment them that much. That's a little too far. They're decent. Well, look at you. You did something. Like, you know, sibling stuff. That's weird. Jordan, that's the ex. Jordan is so annoying. Irritating character. The party scene comes along, and all of them are there, and Jordan starts flirting with the little sister. So the sister comes down and she's like, Jordan was trying to do stuff and I wasn't interested. So Cameron is upset. He like, that's my little sister and you not gonna mess with her. So they start fighting, and apparently he got some skills. Pow pow. He's ready to fight and stuff. I don't know why he brought his camera to a party, but he did. So he brought his cameras to the party, and instead of giving it to someone, because he was fighting, he put the camera right in front of the pool. So Jordan, who is not a good person and is a butt, grabbed the camera and threw it in the ocean. In the pool. Cameron is like, no, that's my mother's camera. Jumps in there, he grabs it, he's upset. He's storming out, he's like, this is my mother's camera and you ruined it. And he's mad at Addison and he's like, why are you mad at her? Well, not Addison, Paget. Why are you mad at Paget? She didn't do anything to you. Ugh. You know, except for what's the bet. But he doesn't know about that yet. All he knows is the camera stuff. So it's like, why are you mad at her? She's not the one that threw your camera in the pool. It was the Jordan dude. I don't know. We see that Odin and Paget are having like this big fight because she's like, well, your boo or whatever ruined my party. And she's like, oh, are you falling for him or something? Blah. He's like, ugh. And he's like, no, I just want to make sure that he's okay, you know, Paget and stuff. So they're like, the bet is still on. We find out that Odin is the bad friend, even though we kind of knew she was a bad friend, but she gets with Jordan. And yeah, she's a schemer, she's a bad friend. But, you know, Paget don't know yet. It's a scene where she's wiping off the makeup to show her true self, but there's still makeup on her face. There's still like red lipstick, like but okay. We have the scene where Cameron and Paget are in Cameron's like film room and it looks like they're about to kiss. No, they do kiss. But before that, I think Paget is about to tell Cameron that she made a bet on him and everything, but he stops her. Something happens. I don't know. She gets spooked and she's like, I need to go. So she leaves. The sister of Cameron is like, you should do a promposal and all this stuff. So yeah, he promposes to Paget. And can you see that I don't care about this movie? Anyway. He promposes to Paget, and Paget's like, oh my gosh, that's so sweet, blah, 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 blah. But then Odin comes in, and there's the other friend that comes, and Odin's like, do you want to tell him, or should I? And then Paget admits that she only was interested in Cameron because of a bet. And he was like, I was a bet, and you know, he upset or whatever, so he storms off. He storms off. I don't know what accent that is. He storms off. Okay, he's mad, he's annoyed, he's betrayed. Paget feels bad. She's like, I shouldn't have done that, I feel bad, I really liked him, all this stuff. Before this scene happened, Paget found out about Odin and Jordan, and she was like betrayed and stuff. So yeah, that's why Odin did that, because they weren't friends anymore. Slap a bin in the face. Why did I say that? Slap a bin in the face? Why did I want someone to get slapped in the face with a bin? Slap a bin in... Oh, I think, okay. I think the reason why I said that because Odin was being annoying. So like slap a bin in her face or something. I don't know. That was funny. Anyway, Cameron is not talking to Paget because, you know, she betrayed him and he opened up to her. Paget, she got all of her sponsorships and everything because she was using that relationship to get like more likes and stuff, which is messed up. She's like, you know, I keep calling him, to the sister. I keep calling him, he's not answering me. I really feel bad and I'm sorry and blah, blah, blah. Somehow she convinced the sister to help her, even though if I was a sister and someone did that to my brother or to my sister, no. The sister goes up to Cameron and is like, well, you know, I need y'all to get back together because when you were with her, you were happy. And, you know, since mom died or something, I think their mom died, I could see that you were as happy as you were when mom was alive. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that the sister is using the fact that their mom died to get with someone who betrayed him. No. No. She literally like played with his emotions and only wanted to get with him in the first place for a bet. A bet. I was a bet. Tell you exactly. Like, no. I would look at my sibling like, what are you saying? No, like no, I'm not getting back together with someone because I looked a little bit happy. I can find someone else that make me happy. I don't need to anyway, whatever. And then we go to prom and Paget, she goes there and there's a dance off, which was in the first movie, but the first movie, She's All That. That dance off was iconic and amazing. And this one was okay. But I recognize one of the dudes, like the backup dancers, and I'm pretty sure he was on FBE. Or what is that YouTube channel called? React? The React channel? That dude is awesome. He was pop locking and dropping on that. Then we see, you know, the prom king and queen, Jordan win, where I was like, he won. Why he win? I get that he was popular or whatever, but he's so annoying. Ugh. And Paget wins. And then it's the same. It's the always annoying, repetitive scene where the main character confesses she's not, you know, the popular girl and she's more than what, you know, you think she is. And I don't know, like the scene where the main character goes up on the stage and makes that big announcement that they are better than who they are. And it's like, no one cares. Like, I get why it happened in certain movies. I understand. And in certain movies, it works and it's not cringy. I mean, okay, let me retract that. It is cringy in a lot of movies, but I think because of nostalgia also, and because the movie was also good, you can kind of not forget, but, you know, push it aside. Like, yes, that part was cringy, but overall the movie was good, so people kind of accepted it. But if you already have an movie and then you're doing this whole speech about, I have pimples too, I make silly face, no one cares. I just want one movie where the main character just grows as a person. And we don't need this whole grand speech about how, oh, I'm a better person. No one, I'm telling you right now, no one cares. No one is going to care that you pick your nose. Okay? No one cares. Just do you. Like, no. I would understand if it was like a speech to her followers, like to the people that are actually like following her. I wasn't telling the truth and being sincere. I wasn't telling the truth. You know, I'm more than just what I put on the, like, that makes more sense than her going to prom and being like, I'm not like the girl I'm on the internet and I'm I pick my nose and I have pimples and, you know, I'm not rich. And it's like, I don't care. Like, I need those in movies to stop. That was a 2000s thing, maybe late 2000s, you know, 2010s maybe, but stop. We don't need a big speech. If there is going to be a big speech, it should make sense. And her making a big speech at prom makes no sense. No one cares. Just get the crown and go. Kiss me, kiss me. I don't know why I said kiss me, kiss me. I guess it's, oh, kiss me. That was That's the only part of the movie that I was like, swing, swing, hey, that's the only part that I really loved. Kiss me. So Cameron and Paget, they make up. It's cute, I guess. They dance outside. You know, he rode on a horse, which I'm not even a horse girl, but if I was like kind of with somebody, or if someone wanted to get back with me and they rode on a horse. Yes. Yes. Them riding off on the horse was cute. But yeah, that is it. That is it. Yeah, so, you know, okay movie. Not bad. Was it the worst thing I've seen? No. But it, you know, I love rom-coms. I love those type of movies. But this is literally the same movie, except they added influencers. Like, I don't need the same bland movies. I'm tired of it. We get it. She did a bet. We already have She's All That. Why do we need He's All That? Like, we don't need He's All That, but it's there. It's there. And they didn't end up together. I mean, I don't like that they do this with certain characters because I get it. Realistically, they weren't going to end up together for forever. But y'all basically told me that they divorced later on in life. Like, no. They were cute in the first movie. Yes, he was very toxic. But I don't want to know that they broke up. I don't want to know that they got a divorce. And now that just ruins it. You know what? He's All That does not exist. I despise when movies do this. I get it that most characters are not going to end up like living together happily ever after forever. But I don't want to know. I want to be delusional. Let me be delusional. That is it for these two movies. All I gotta say is they're both bland. There's moments where there was comedy. There's moments where there was cute moments. But that's it. Like, there was nothing new. I've seen all these tropes before. And then putting quirky with Cinderella, like, I don't like it. Okay? Oh, fine. Cinderella can have goals. But at the same time, I love the original story. I love the fact that Cinderella, she finds her true love and she gets out of that horrible situation so that she can be happy with the man that she's in love with. And she's literally the queen. Like, I don't understand that. You're telling me that Cinderella, the queen, eventually can't make dresses? Like, I don't know. He's All That. They end up together, you know. It's whatever. Anyway, that is it for this reaction. I will never watch any of these movies again. This is a one-time thing. I was not gonna watch these movies. I told myself that I already know that there's gonna be a bunch of YouTubers that are gonna make commentaries on it. And I don't have the time. I don't have the energy. I'm not gonna do it. But then I kept seeing so many commentary videos and I was like, that's funny. And I just wanted to make a video on it. I don't know. Was it a waste of time? Yes. Should you watch the movies? Probably not. I mean, okay, honestly, they're not horrible. Like, if you want to see the same tropes over and over again, or like a girl boss, Cinderella, go check it out. That is it for this video. I will see you guys when I see you. Thank you for listening to me rant, because I love to do that. And I will see you guys later. Goodbye. I don't know what's going on with these movies now, but they need to go and be original. We didn't need another Cinderella movie. Bow bow. We didn't need a sequel to She's All That. I need the original romantic movie, 'cause all of these are getting boring. 'Cause all of these is getting boring. I need something original. Ba 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 ba. Get do. Make something original because I need something more. Ooh. I just feel bad for everybody else who's looking at these disgusting movies. Anyway, bye.